Hi everybody and welcome back. Up next is the AMT 40 Ford Coupe. I'm going to be building this stock, probably like as a barn find. I found these pictures on the internet that I'm using for my inspiration. It comes with a lot of extra parts, racing parts and chrome and that. That'll just be going into my parts box. It comes with a engine mount and two engines. I'll probably be using the flathead engine. At this point I've got everything into primer. I've got the chassis and the two motors and running gear, steering, all that in in Rust-Oleum 2X primer. The interior is going to be the gray Rust-Oleum primer. Got the seats on the inside of the body in the gray, and I've got the hood, then the wheels, wheel backs, and the stock wheel rims, the body in just a rattle can red oxide primer. I'm going to be doing the bottom of the fenders in black, and then I'll be doing the I've also cleared the body in hairspray, and I'll be using the salt technique and hairspray technique to add some rusting, and then sponging on some rust colors just to make it a barn find. It's hoping it'll be a quick build and get it out of the off of the table in January, so I can begin the February group builds. So stay tuned for more. Okay, well, I'm back and I've been doing some weathering on the 40 Ford kit. The interior was primed in gray, and I put some washes on it of light gray, brown, a golden brown, and a black wash over it, just to make that dirty weathered look. And the tires are on the rims. I've got the rims rusted up a bit there, and the dashboard painted black primer, and then dabbed on some rust colors that I use. I had some silver on the gauges and that, but I guess it got covered up. The chassis and the drivetrain, of course, were primed in black, and then gave dry brushing of gunmetal, and then sponged on my rust colors, which I'll show you here in a second, as well as the drivetrain here is the same thing. And the engine is, I did it in a deep red acrylic paint, and then with some washes, a little bit of black and a black wash over it, some vanilla white on the spark plugs to highlight them, and then my rust colors sponged on top of that. Was on a little stand there. These are the rust colors that I use, the Craft Smart acrylics, the brick red, the burnt orange, and the yellow, in that order. So starting with the black and the gunmetal on there, then I sponge on the brick red liberally, and then sponge on the burnt orange a little bit later over that, and then the yellow. I wasn't meant to get the yellow looking like dots like that. You just kind of do it very finely, like pinholes, and it just kind of adds that depth to the look of the rust. But what I'm going to do now is do a really thinned out black acrylic wash over the whole thing, and that'll dull it down a bit and just make the rust sort of pop. So stay tuned, I'll have more pictures to follow. And the body is still in the red oxide primer, haven't started that yet, so that's all to come yet, so stay tuned. So with the red oxide primer on, I brushed some water over the body and sprinkled on some coarse salt. I did the same with the hood, and then airbrushed some blue craft paint over the salt. Using the paint booth, I airbrushed some vanilla white craft paint over the fenders. Then I airbrushed some hunter green acrylic paint over the rest of the body. These are the paints that I used. So at this point I've knocked the salt off and rubbed and brushed the salt off. Got the colors on here that I think that I want, although I might do one of the doors a different color. And what I need to do now is just give the whole thing a very light wash of black, a very thinned out black wash, just to bring out the color and give it a little bit of depth. I used a silver Sharpie marker to highlight the chrome edges, But on the driver's door and part of the fender, I decided to leave it off and drilled some holes to show it missing, and then painted the door black. So here we are, we've got pretty much the weathering's all done on the body. I've just put the chrome parts on for the headlights and the grille. I've attached the windows and put some holes and cracks in the front windshield. And I've attached the trunk handle. So those are chrome pieces. They have to be weathered yet. I have to add in the tail lights and the gas cap and weather them up. I'm going to try putting the chrome piece in for the split windshield, and that's going to be weathered up and rusted up a bit too. So I just thought I'd give you a look with the shiny chrome on it before I put the weathering on that part. Well, here's the completed build. For some reason I had imagined it was a difficult kit to fit together, but I didn't have any fit issues. I had a few little adjustments to make and some cleanup to do and a little bit of sanding and fitting, but everything went together very well. I've got the side vent windows in on both sides. I managed to put the little divider on the windshield. Got all the chrome parts on. The hood went on to get it straight at the front. There's a small gap here. Of course, for my purposes, that doesn't make a big difference. But other than that, everything went together very well. And I like the fact that it has metal rods for axles. The tires go on quickly and tight, and it all rolls and it's level. Sits all four wheels on the ground. The paint, I think, came out really well. I dry brushed a little bit of golden brown craft acrylic on around the windows and fenders just to make it look a little dusty and dirty. I really like the way it came out. Got all the bits and pieces on, the trunk latch, tail lights, the gas cap, bumpers. You've seen the interior tub before it went in, so it's a little bit harder to try and see inside there now. I'll put a few pictures up. I really like the colors, the blue hood, the black driver's door, a little bit of white on the fenders, and the rest is that hunter green. It's a good kit. I actually would probably buy another one if I could get a decent price on it. I got this one at a really good price. And I'll put a couple of pictures up next, a little clip just to show some of the parts that are left over. And I hope it shows on the camera. I put some holes and cracks in the windshield and dusted and dirtied them up a bit. This is what's left over after my build. Of course, the kit comes with this, looks like a van door. It's not applicable to this kit. There's a roll bar, license plate covers, some exhaust, custom bumpers. There's the extra engine and engine stand, the gas fuel tank, fuel cell, the pulleys and belts for the extra engine, some chrome parts, a blower and belts, chrome valve covers, wheel rings, custom wheel caps. There's gauges, tachometer set, and the decal sheet. So those can all be used somewhere else. And again, it's a nice little kit, lots of extra parts.